Welcome to Lunch Break Wisdom, short ideas from the world's most influential books designed for a quiet break between work, a commute home, or a moment to think more clearly. Today's episode explores The Sealed Nectar, one of the most widely read biographies of the Prophet Muhammad in the modern Muslim world. Written by Safi-ur-Rahman al-Mubarakpuri, The Sealed Nectar won first prize in an international competition organized to produce an accessible yet academically grounded biography of Muhammad. For Muslims, the Prophet's life serves as a model of faith in action. For non-Muslims, it represents one of the most remarkable leadership stories in human history. The story of how an orphan born in a tribal desert society transformed the moral, social, and political landscape of Arabia. Regardless of one's beliefs, the life described in this book offers lessons in resilience, leadership, conviction, and the complexities of social change. To understand Muhammad's impact, we must first understand the world into which he was born. 7th century Arabia was a land of tribal loyalties. Honor and revenge shaped social interactions. Economic inequality was widespread. Infanticide existed. Slavery was normalized. The strong often dominated the weak. Religious practices varied, with many tribes worshipping multiple deities. Into this environment, Muhammad was born in Mecca around the year 570. Before birth, he lost his father. As a child, he lost his mother. He later lost his grandfather. Much of his early life was marked by vulnerability and dependence upon others. This beginning matters because it shaped his sensitivity towards society's most vulnerable members: the orphan, the widow, the poor, the outsider. One of the first lessons from The Sealed Nectar is that greatness does not require ideal beginnings. Many people assume their circumstances define their potential. Muhammad's life suggests otherwise. Difficult origins do not prevent meaningful contribution. Sometimes they deepen compassion and perspective. As a young man, Muhammad developed a reputation for honesty and reliability. He became known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Long before he became a prophet, people trusted his character. This reminds us that credibility is accumulated gradually. Character is often built in obscurity before responsibility arrives. Many people desire influence without first cultivating integrity. But sustainable leadership rests on trust. Around the age of 40, Muhammad received the first revelation while meditating in the cave of Hira. The experience profoundly disturbed him. He questioned himself, he sought reassurance, he turned first to his wife, Khadija. This detail reveals something deeply human. Even extraordinary individuals experience uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the willingness to continue despite it. Khadija's role also highlights the importance of supportive relationships. Behind many influential figures stand individuals who provide encouragement, stability, and belief during moments of doubt. The early years of Muhammad's mission were marked by resistance. His message challenged existing power structures. He condemned exploitation, advocated care for the vulnerable, promoted ethical monotheism, questioned inherited traditions. Predictably, opposition followed. The people closest to him faced ridicule, persecution, and social isolation. This period teaches an uncomfortable truth. Meaningful change often encounters resistance. People rarely welcome ideas that threaten existing systems or identities. Whether introducing innovation in organizations, advocating reform, or challenging unhealthy norms within families, resistance should not automatically be interpreted as failure. Sometimes resistance is evidence that important questions are being raised. One of the most painful chapters described in the book is the year of sorrow. During this period, Muhammad lost both Khadija, his beloved wife, and Abu Talib, the uncle who had protected him politically. Personal grief coincided with increased vulnerability. Many readers can relate to moments when multiple hardships arrive simultaneously. Loss, uncertainty, exhaustion. The Prophet's response was not denial. He grieved openly, yet he continued fulfilling his responsibilities. This demonstrates an important lesson. Resilience is not emotional suppression. Strength and sadness can coexist. The book then recounts the migration from Mecca to Medina, known as the Hijrah. This event marks a turning point in Islamic history. It represents more than physical relocation. It symbolizes the willingness to leave familiar environments when they become incompatible with deeply held values. Many people experience smaller versions of this journey, changing careers, leaving unhealthy relationships, moving away from toxic influences. Growth sometimes requires departure. Not every environment supports who we are trying to become. In Medina, Muhammad transitioned from persecuted preacher to community leader. He established agreements among diverse groups, created systems for social welfare, resolved disputes, balanced spiritual responsibilities with practical governance. This phase highlights another important principle. Leadership requires adaptability. Different seasons demand different strengths. The qualities needed to survive adversity may differ from those required to manage success. Throughout the seal Nectar, one characteristic appears repeatedly: mercy. Even after years of persecution, opportunities for revenge were often met with forgiveness. This was perhaps most evident during the peaceful conquest of Mecca. Many expected retaliation. Instead, broad amnesty was granted. Forgiveness does not eliminate accountability, but it prevents resentment from dictating decisions. In everyday life, most people will never lead armies or govern cities. Yet everyone faces choices regarding forgiveness. Holding on to bitterness may feel justified, but often it prolongs suffering more than it protects dignity. Another recurring theme is consultation. Muhammad regularly sought advice from companions. He welcomed differing perspectives. He adjusted strategies based upon collective wisdom. This challenges authoritarian models of leadership. Expertise matters, but humility matters too. People closest to problems often possess insights leaders overlook. Families function better when voices are heard. Organizations innovate when dialogue is encouraged. Communities strengthen when participation replaces domination. The book also emphasizes consistency between values and behavior. Muhammad's companions observed not only public speeches but private conduct, how he treated family members, how he interacted with servants, how he responded under pressure. Authenticity emerged through alignment. In modern life, inconsistencies between public image and private reality often generate cynicism. Integrity involves reducing that gap. Another lesson involves patience without passivity. Patience in the sealed nectar is not inactivity. It involves persistent effort combined with emotional steadiness. The Prophet planned carefully, took action decisively, yet accepted that outcomes could not always be controlled. This balance remains relevant today. Work diligently, prepare thoroughly, then release attachment to immediate results. The book also highlights the importance of hope. Despite repeated setbacks, Muhammad maintained confidence that goodness could prevail. Hope did not ignore reality. It interpreted hardship within a larger narrative of meaning. For individuals facing uncertainty, career disappointments, health challenges, family struggles. Hope sustains perseverance when visible progress feels absent. Ultimately, the sealed Nectar is more than historical biography. It is a study of character under pressure, of leadership grounded in service, of conviction balanced by compassion, of resilience strengthened through purpose. Regardless of one's religious commitments, the story raises enduring questions. How do we maintain integrity amidst opposition? How do we lead without losing humility? How do we forgive without abandoning justice? How do we persist when progress feels invisible? Perhaps the most powerful takeaway is this. History often remembers dramatic moments, battles, speeches, victories, but these moments are built upon countless unseen choices, acts of honesty, moments of patience, daily discipline, quiet courage. The prophet's life reminds us that extraordinary impact is rarely the product of a single decision. More often, it emerges through ordinary acts repeated faithfully over time. And perhaps that is why biographies remain valuable. They remind us that while circumstances differ, the human challenges of fear, purpose, responsibility, and hope remain remarkably constant across generations. In summary, key concepts in the sealed Nectar 1. Greatness can emerge from adversity. Difficult beginnings do not determine destiny. 2. Character precedes influence. Trust is earned before leadership is granted. 3. Resilience includes grief, strength, and vulnerability coexist. 4. Growth sometimes requires departure. Not every environment supports flourishing. 5. Mercy is strength. Forgiveness can transform relationships and communities. 6. Leadership requires consultation. Wisdom expands through dialogue. 7. Hope sustains perseverance. Meaning helps people endure hardship. Everyday takeaways for you: build credibility through consistency. Allow yourself to grieve without abandoning responsibility. Recognize when environments hinder growth. Seek input from trusted people before major decisions. Practice forgiveness where possible. Continue showing up even when progress feels slow. What biographies of influential historical or spiritual figures would you like explored in future episodes of Lunch Break Wisdom? Share your recommendations below. Please subscribe and comment.